What's going on, everybody? David here. So I'm in beautiful Kauai and I want to talk a little bit about travel tips, things that I've learned along the way. I've been traveling for the last 4 years and I've learned a lot of different things that I didn't know when I first started. So I'm going to give you guys my travel tips and things that I've learned along the way. But first off, you guys can do me a favor, please hit the like button. It does help with the YouTube algorithm. Also, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell notification, that way you'll get notified anytime we put out a video. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is when you're booking your flights, when you're booking your hotel, try to book direct. So try to go directly to, let's say if you want to stay at a Hyatt, book directly with Hyatt. If you want to fly on United, book it on United. And the reason that I'm saying this is because if you're booking directly with the provider, the company, then you can always contact them. You can always contact United and say, look, I wanted to make this change or make that change, and they will work with you. But when you book with a third party, you always have to contact that third party first and find out how you can make those changes. And so it's always best if you focus on, if you know who you're flying with already, book with that airline. If you know where you're staying already, book with that hotel. It just makes things so much easier. And if you need to get a rental car, go ahead and contact the rental car place. And a lot of times what will happen is when you do book with, let's say you book on United or you book on American Airlines, once you book that airfare, sometimes they'll tell you, okay, you can get a special discount and you're going directly to Hertz or you're going directly to Alamo or whatever the rental car company is, but they might give you a discount if you book it all at that same time. So try not to do the big packages. Don't go to these different travel agents where they allow you to do a big package, because it's just more difficult to make changes. So if you have changes, you're really going to have to go through some hoops in order to make that happen. Another thing, when it comes to booking directly, so if I'm booking with United, sign up for their programs. They all have these rewards programs. Sign up for those programs, because if you start flying, especially if you're flying on a regular basis and you're spending money, guess what? You're gonna get free flights out of that, or you're gonna get different perks out of that. So sign up for those reward programs, and they're free. They don't cost anything. It's not a credit card or anything like that. All you're doing is signing up, letting them know, and of course they're gonna track you so they'll know how many times you fly and where you're flying to and all that. But you can get benefits out of that in the future, so it makes a lot of sense to do that. So those rewards programs, that's something that not a lot of people do, but sign up for them. It's not a credit card. People all automatically think it's a credit card. No, it's not a credit card. You're just signing up, just like, and I don't even know if they still do this, but some stores still do it, where you sign up for their rewards program, you put in your phone number, or they give you that little card that you use every time you go to the grocery store, and then you get little perks with that. Same thing happens with hotels and airlines. So you want to make sure you sign up for the rewards programs. Another tip that I have for you guys is pack a lunch. So if you're flying and you know that you're not going to have a meal on the flight, or even if you are going to have a meal on the flight, you can pack a lunch. The only thing that you can't pack are liquids. So you can't pack anything that's a liquid, but you can freeze something and get it through the TSA checkpoint. But you can't bring anything that's a liquid. So you can still pack a lunch. You can pack a sandwich, chips, all that stuff. That will all go through the checkpoint, but the only thing that won't go through is liquid. So I recommend doing that, especially if you're not staying in a lounge and you can't get some little snacks and stuff there. It's better to go ahead and pack your lunch than to go in the airport and pay $10 for a sandwich that is the same sandwich that you could have made at home. The next thing I want to talk about is global entry. So get global entry. Don't get just TSA PreCheck, get global entry. Global entry is $100. You're going to get global entry and you're going to get TSA PreCheck. So global entry is for international travel. So when you're traveling outside of the country, when you come back into the country, you go through customs, but you just go to a kiosk. So you don't have to go through the regular customs. You don't have to wait in line, and usually it could take an hour or so just to wait in line to get through customs when you're coming back into the country. You don't have to do that with global entry. And then TSA PreCheck. TSA PreCheck is for domestic flights, and you go through a separate line. You don't have to take your shoes off. You don't have to take your computers out of the bag or anything like that. You can walk straight through. So it's a lot faster process. They also have Clear, but you do have to pay a little bit more for Clear. But that is even a faster process, so you might want to look that up if you're interested. And then the last thing I want to talk about is being flexible when it comes to travel. So if you're flexible, you're going to get the best deals. And if you're flying out on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, you're probably going to get a better deal than flying out on a Friday or Saturday. So just something to think about. If you can be flexible with your flights, as well as hotel stays, if you can be flexible, you can save a lot of money by doing that. And so when I fly out, usually I fly out on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, or I do a red eye. I'll do a red eye flight. As long as I'm flying, like a lot of times I like to fly business class. If it's a red eye business class and it's a lie flat seat, I'm good. I can sleep a little bit on the plane. Once I get to my destination, I'm ready to go. So it's just one of those things you want to think about, being flexible. And if you can be flexible, you can save a lot of money when it comes to travel. And the last thing I want to talk about, of course, is travel credit cards. So this is something that I use all the time. So anytime I travel, I use credit cards, and there are a variety of different credit cards that are out there, different ecosystems, the Chase ecosystem, American Express, Citi. You also have Capital One. There are a variety of different credit cards that are out there, different ecosystems that you can be a part of. But when it comes down to it, the travel credit cards can really change the game if you are disciplined enough to use credit cards and pay them off every month and never carry a balance. Then you can really benefit from them. So something that you might want to think about in the future when it comes to credit cards. Now, I kept that at the very end because that's something that turns a lot of people off when it comes to travel. I don't want to get credit cards. I don't want to get credit cards. You don't have to. You don't have to. All the other tips that I gave you are really good tips, as well as the rewards programs. You can still be a part of the rewards programs without getting travel credit cards. And so you can still earn points without the credit cards. So just something to think about. If you guys have any other questions, post them down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one.